I've talked on this channel quite a bit about accessibility already, explaining why it's important and how you can go about it on your next digital project. Today I want to take it one step further. Earlier this week, we organized a training for our entire development team with the Royal National Institute for the Blind here in the UK, and I wanted to share some insights that I gathered. So today will be less about the technical solutions or the practicality on how you can implement the solution for your next website or digital project. I want to focus more about the principles that can guide an entire team, an entire process end to end. Let's get into it so you can have better understanding on why you do accessibility in the first place. Hey, welcome to this new edition of Digital Blitz, your short brief on everything UX, tech and compliance. I'm Sylvain Reiter and I'm here to help you succeed in digital by delivering better experiences for your team and your customers. For a service to be accessible, you can run lengthy audits and have long checklists and run automated tools that will test your codes against hundreds of thousands of criteria. So this can be quite overwhelming. When you start a new project, you need to build a team culture. You need to motivate everyone and make everyone understand the reason on why you're doing accessibility and the concepts behind it. Because accessibility is not just a checklist of items. You need to actually understand the principles behind it. For example, basic accessibility item for developers is to add an alt tag on all the images in the HTML code. But having the tag in itself, a random piece of text, does not actually describe an image, and it's not actually helping accessibility. It's not helping visually impaired users understand what the image is about. This is why version 2.0 of the WCAG guideline are more flexible and encourages developers and everyone in the digital industry to think through the process more conceptually. They came up with 4 main guiding principles of accessibility, and they form the acronym POUR, P-O-U-R. And those 4 principles are used to group the various elements of the accessibility guideline and make it more understandable for everyone. So let's look at those 4 principles. Starting with the P, it stands for perceivable. It's all about how you make the content available to the end user's senses. So most of the time, it'd be visual, obviously, making sure that the text is large enough to be read. If you think about visually impaired users or blind users might use screen readers to read out loud the text that's written on the page. Or if you're playing videos, you need to have written script for deaf users. So all those assistive technologies can perform this conversion, but it's only if the content is designed with accessibility in mind. The O, the second principle, the O stands for operable. Because not everyone uses computer with a mouse or trackpad. It could have temporary impairment and need to work with different input methods, such as the keyboard or speech recognition. Another element of this principle is about error recovery, because we can all make typos or mistakes in filling forms, and the system that we build need to help users prevent them with clear instructions, validations, and confirmation message, for example. The third principle, U, stands for understandable. Everyone has a different range of cognitive ability, so again, you need to use clear and concise language, so everyone can digest the information at their own pace. And in the design, the interface needs to be consistent and predictable. So a link always goes to a page, a button triggers an action. It's all about using standard HTML formats. And the last, fourth principle, R, stands for robust. That's about building something that's compatible with the current screen, also older browsers and mobile and screen readers, and other assistive technologies. The other challenge is that we can't really control how users will access our service. Thinking about the bigger picture and business value for everyone, you need your current investment to keep working in the future with future technology. There's new devices coming out every few months. Again, using standard coding and sticking to the specification and follow the best practice will ensure that your system is robust. All those 4 principles are required for your end users to have a successful interaction with your digital product. If you follow all of this, this is how you will move from a poor accessibility to an optimized website following those 4 guidelines. That's it for today. Feel free to look at other videos on my channel where I talk about how to implement an accessible website or share a case study of how we've done it for clients. And if you have any question or need support to improve your digital product's accessibility, leave me some comments below or get in touch. Until next time, stay safe and see you soon.